Hello and welcome back to My Life on a GLP-1. I'm your host, Scott Johnson, and as always, I'm joined by the wonderful Sarah.
Hey Scott, great to be here. I think we have a really important topic today.
We absolutely do, and I'm confident we may stir the pot with some controversy today. We're diving into the roller coaster of expectations versus reality. We're talking about being a fast responder versus a slow responder. And we will talk about why the scale sometimes feels like it's frozen in time.
Oh, that feeling of dread when you step on the scale in the morning, holding your breath, and the number just stares back at you unchanged. It's brutal.
It really is, especially when you remember those first couple of weeks. For a lot of us, the weight just melts off. I remember losing 9 pounds in my first 7 days, and I immediately started planning which clothes I was going to donate. I was basically a celebrity in my own mind.
Right, you start calculating when you'll hit your goal weight if you keep up that pace. It's so exciting. But then, the stall hits. The scale doesn't move for a day, then a week, and panic sets in.
And what do we do when we panic in this day and age, Sarah?
We immediately go online, join 3 forums, and compare our very specific situation to 47 strangers, concluding that we're completely broken and the medication has stopped working.
Exactly. You start creating spreadsheets of other people's results, color-coded by medication. It's a spiral. The truth is, you're comparing your chapter 3 to everyone else's highlight reel.
That is the perfect way to put it. So let's talk about what's actually happening. Why does this stall happen? And is it really a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing at all. In fact, it's completely normal. What you're experiencing is the transition from what experts call the rapid response phase to actual sustainable fat loss. That initial drop is mostly water weight and reduced inflammation. Your body isn't broken, it's just getting down to business.
That makes so much sense. So, with that in mind, what should our expectations be? We see these huge numbers from clinical trials, like 20% weight loss on Mounjaro and Zepbound. Is that realistic for everyone?
That's a key point. Clinical trials are a perfect environment. In the real world, things are different. Recent studies show that real-world users lose closer to 8% on semaglutide and 12% on tirzepatide after a year.
And that's because life happens, right? People have to stop taking the medication due to cost or side effects, or they stay on lower maintenance doses.
Precisely. The medically recommended rate of healthy weight loss is still between half a pound and 2 pounds per week. If you're in that range, you are winning.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are the factors that actually determine if you respond faster or slower? Or is it just random?
Not at all. There are several factors. A big one is your starting weight. People with a higher baseline body weight often see a faster initial loss because they can create a larger calorie deficit.
That makes sense. And I assume diet and exercise are in there too.
They are huge. You simply cannot out-medicate a diet high in ultra-processed foods. People who see faster, more sustainable results prioritize high-protein, nutrient-dense foods. And crucially, they incorporate resistance training.
Yes, protecting your muscle mass is maybe the most important thing you can do on this journey. Muscle is your metabolic engine.
An interesting one is diabetes status. Research consistently shows that patients without diabetes tend to lose a significantly higher percentage of body weight than those with diabetes. And finally, adherence. Sticking with the medication and the schedule is key.
And it's worth pointing out that faster doesn't always mean better. There are actual dangers to losing weight too quickly, right?
100%. If you're consistently dropping more than 2 to 3 pounds a week, you're at a higher risk for significant muscle loss, which will hurt your metabolism long term, not to mention things like hair loss, fatigue, and even gallstones.
Yikes. So, what are some practical tips for people to optimize their own journey, whether they feel like they're going too slow or too fast?
If you feel your progress has slowed, get really honest about tracking your caloric intake and prioritize protein. Aim for about 1 gram per pound of your ideal body weight and just increase your daily movement. On the flip side, if you're losing very rapidly, it is essential that you incorporate resistance training to protect your muscles.
Okay, so let's bring it all home. What is the single biggest takeaway for our listeners today?
It's to escape what I call the forum trap. Stop comparing yourself to internet strangers. You are seeing a curated highlight, not their full reality.
I love that. The forum trap. It's so true. Your health journey, your metabolism, your starting point, it's completely different from the next person's.
Exactly. So remember, if the weight loss train has slowed after that initial sprint, you are not alone. The medication has not stopped working. Your body is just shifting gears into real, sustainable fat loss. Trust the process and be kind to yourself.
Because the only comparison that really matters is the one between where you are today and where you were when you started. So, on that note, I want to take this moment to thank you for always tuning in every week, giving us a strong rating, and sharing with your friends. Tell us, Scott, what final advice do you have on this topic of being a slow or fast responder?
Sarah, thank you so much. Whether you identify as a slow responder or a fast responder, GLP-1 medications offer powerful tools for weight loss. If you feel frustrated because the weight loss train has slowed, you are not alone. Now your body is shifting to fat loss at a steadier, more sustainable rate. Keep going. Trust the process. Be honest with yourself about eating habits. Take time to learn your body signals and what they communicate. Most importantly, stop comparing yourself to internet strangers whose complete circumstances you cannot possibly know. So, on behalf of Sarah, I'm Scott Johnson. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, you are simply experiencing the normal transition from rapid initial response to consistent, sustainable fat loss. Love your journey, my friends.